Okay, in this video, I would like to introduce you to the early concepts of weatherable minerals and how they were applied to formulate the concept of low activity clay. Now, if you ever had a chance to look at salt profile from the tropics, you're going to be seeing something like this. Usually, they are characterized by red colors. They do not have a dominance of what appears to be primary weatherable minerals. So if you look at this picture on the right, it's essentially light brown in color, and this one is reddish, starting from an orange horizon at the surface, and this one is bright brown to a little bit of red in color. All three soils are from the tropics, and this top 2 meters, more or less, signifies the concept of weathering, or shall I say deep weathering, in the tropics. Many years ago, when people looked at weatherable minerals in the top 2 meters of the Earth's surface, this is what basically they saw in the tropics. And so they came to the conclusion that, well, in the tropics, you're going to have a high percentage of weathered minerals, and the percentage of weatherable minerals would be very minimum, if not nil. Right, now if you take the concepts that you saw in the last slide, it becomes apparent that in the tropics, especially more in the humid tropics, you do not have weatherable minerals within the top 1 meter or 2 meters in highly weathered soils. So even more in low activity clay, then it became a popular theory that you should have an absence of weatherable minerals in low activity clay soils. So these early concepts then were translated in the form of a book known affectionately as Salt Taxonomy, first of which came out in the year 1975. And that stipulated that there are no really any weatherable minerals between the 20 to 200 micrometer fraction. And that absence of weatherable minerals in this size fraction, 20 to 200 micrometers, was then taken to be a diagnostic criteria for the grade groups in salt taxonomy, which is Paleocoutes and Paleodotes. Okay, I will talk about all this in another video. Therefore, low activity clay taxa, or taxa including or having low activity clay, which had similar properties with these Paleocoutes and Paleodotes, you should then expect them to have low to nil amounts of weatherable minerals. It's just the way it is. Unfortunately, Greenland in 1981, when he did some studies from West Africa, arrived at the conclusion that the content of weatherable minerals which he found in the low activity clay alphisols and altisols were very independent from the clay composition itself. So the overall clay composition, which is supposed to be signifying a high degree of weatherability, did not match up to the contents of weatherable mineral in that particular size fraction. So the conclusion was very simple. Back in 1975, people concluded that weatherable minerals are not useful as a diagnostic property for low activity clay taxa at grade group level. This was the conclusion made at that time. Now, I know that many of you are interested in this topic of low activity clay. I can see it from the number of questions I've been getting over the years. So I would encourage you to look out for more videos which I'll be posting on low activity clay. And hope you enjoy every one of them. Happy studying.